Now, to show another way of working, it's just one way. In the old system with SCENAR, there are lots of different protocols, and they extended and extended and extended, and there was the Eric and Mike, and there were millions of protocols coming in, variations on how to treat a certain area and how to go about it. And I thought it was made fantastic weekends teaching, and you had another weekend where you could spend some of the money on teaching, and I felt like this isn't really adding very much to treatment. Perhaps they would be appropriate in very unusual circumstances. But I just wanted to show one, because on the abdomen you can vary, that is called the Moulin Rouge. So you consider the 4 quadrants as in the basic approach, and you follow the numbered order. It is like circling around. Yeah, so here you go up, 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 up. Here you go from 9, 10, 11, 12, you go there you go there, and there you go that way again. So it's more like circling. And it's a bit of an imitation of what was called the Moulin Rouge. You could, if you wanted to, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just circle around like that in ever-widening circles. You could do that as well. And it's just to show you that one can be creative if you want to, but I would say do it on the abdomen. And my preference is usually to go that way, and Doc Irene is to go that way. The sort of tonifying and sedating or reducing came up, but I would forget about that.
I would say that with COSMODIC, it really does not matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it's just
because
of the nature of the technology.
Yeah.
It may be meaningful for SCENAR, but for COSMODIC, I don't think it's that important.
Yeah. Yeah. So that really is the end of what I wanted to say, and it is. Could you relax your shoulders? With relaxed shoulders, you get a more natural position, and you're more sure where you are on the spine. So first, I identify the spines on the scapula. I'll go to the edge of the scapula. I reckon that is about between 3 and 4. I tend to make a little note there, so I can come back to it if I'm wrong. 3, 2, 1. There it is. Doesn't write. Pen that writes. Anybody got an eyebrow pencil? They're so good.
I use regular
You won't rub that off very easily. It will come off in the end.
When I got go to swim, it will go down?
No, it'll still show.
I got a pen here.
It'll still show.
Try that maybe.
No. Well, very vaguely. There to there. That is C7. That's the one we avoid.
So are you treating a specific condition?
I'm doing a very general zone. Whatever his condition, whatever his problem, this will help him. Because the scanner will identify where to work. His body will tell the scanner where it wants to be worked. You can look at it from terms of the nervous system, whether it serves the heart area or whatever. You can look at it from the system of Chinese medicine, whether the point relates to, it will treat those areas. Yeah? And it will thereby balance the system.
All right.
Yeah?
This is good to start with.
It is the best general zone. So we need that. That's fine, thanks. Yeah. So I still need the pen really, but. So I now put it in the mode SO, that's S0, and I have to choose, this is the EX735, I have to choose between COSMODIC, if I hold this between SCENAR. It vibrates, that's one thing I don't like about it, so I now have to change the setting so that the vibro goes off, and then I go back and it doesn't vibrate anymore. The vibration is really for yourself. If you want to treat yourself and you lie on it, if it is very active, it goes and you're great, and if it goes boom, and then it takes 5 minutes before it says that again, you can finish the treatment. So we'll start to measure. I have the pen handy. Sorry. One measurement, you can see the indentation. Two measurement, that's a bit higher. That's a bit higher. Little line.
You're looking at the peaks?
Yeah, I'm looking at the peaks. Higher, goes higher and higher. Higher and higher. You're going to get good news from this treatment. So that is at the moment the highest. You have to go all the way down so that you treat the sympathetic and parasympathetic system. And if you bend your head slightly, you can have a problem with some necks that you can't quite get there because of the shape of this and the shape of the neck going the other way. So sometimes it's easier to go that way.
And you can't go this way either, sideways, right?
No. You have to, I've made a big mistake. You have to keep on the spine the electrodes vertical. I mean, it is implied there, but you have to do that.
What about when you hold it perpendicular, straight on? Is that's
Like that.
No.
No, when you said to do it
Like this.
yeah.
Yeah, you get different readings that you work a shortened area.
Readings are not as
Oh no, if you compare, if you keep it like that and you do all the way
You have to
through,
be consistent like that.
Yeah,
If you do it that way, you have to continue doing it.
continue doing it like that, absolutely fine.
You can't mix the two.
And you
styles.
get even greater differentiation, that's right. So we found that that is the highest reading. So we now put it, we did read in SCENAR, and I'm just working in SCENAR at the moment. So you press the button and you go to automatic, but I now wanted to SCENAR, so I keep it pressed. I keep it pressed, and now I'm in SCENAR mode. And I'm going to treat that area there, and it starts treating.
And is it A2?
It is an A1, thank you. I take it off for the sake and press this button, so we go to A2. Thank you.
And automatic 2 is the best for a normal.
For normal, but I now put it in SCENAR because I've measured in SCENAR.
Oh,
Yeah? So at least I'm consistent with what the device is saying. It's an A2, that's strengths, and S1. S1 is for normal treatment.
Did it tell you when it's SCENAR versus COSMODIC?
No, because I haven't measured them both.
in the measuring, can you explain, there's a measuring in SCENAR, and is there a measuring in COSMODIC?
That's right, one or the other.
Really interesting, very different.
Or sometimes very
Like
similar.
Two separate, two separate
Device.
devices in one, but they do talk to each other. And in the automatic mode, the body just says, tell me what you want, and it will do it. Or it tells the device what it wants.
Yeah.
So this is not the automatic mode, definitely.
Not,
I haven't put it in the automatic mode. There are reasons to use the automatic mode sometimes. If somebody has a local area, or I want to know how the body... The problem is that if you start to search over the body what it wants, SCENAR or COSMODIC, you'll find one area SCENAR, one area COSMODIC. Right? So I then determine that if the elbow wants SCENAR, I sometimes go over the back in SCENAR, or I go over the back in COSMODIC because I want to treat deeper on another level. And then I treat the elbow in the SCENAR. So I do COSMODIC here and SCENAR there. Yeah? It depends, it really depends. If the problem is in this area, then I may just quickly test. If I test on this area, it would have calmed down by the time I'm testing again for measuring. Because that's the problem, you can interfere with measuring. But test here which mode it wants, and then start to measure, I get a different measurement. Yeah, because already a bit of treatment has happened. But I may do that. If it is on this area, it's the last one I'm going to measure then. And if I then see SCENAR, I just put it in SCENAR mode to measure and work accordingly. Sometimes I'll measure the spine through in COSMODIC and then measure it through in SCENAR and see what it says, where the highest value comes, because that's what the device itself does. It tests both, it goes to the point of greatest interaction, and then it will set itself accordingly. Now you saw that it was slowing down, perhaps, and then it changed mode. Look at these figures here, you can, the bars. You can see that it is working in a different mode. The sound of it is different. So it goes through a kind of phrasing, that's what I meant.
So like it does different modalities of treatment inside the same treatment.
Inside the same treatment, it keeps looking what the body wants at that moment and what it responds best to. And it does that in changing frequencies, in changing modulations, and changing all those aspects. But it keeps searching for the best.
And the difference between the SCENAR and the other one?
COSMODIC?
COSMODIC. What is the two? What's the difference? What's the difference between them?
Scanner is more superficial and the COSMODIC
Yeah.
is more superficial.
COSMODIC goes deeper. There are lots of difference technically what it measures. The scanner measures the waveform it gets back from the body, does calculations on it, and then talks back. It keeps talking back till enough changes has taken place that the scanner decides we are going the right way. The body is paying attention to what it should be doing. With the COSMODIC, it does that plus. It measures radio waves coming from the body, and it analyzes what it gets from the nervous system on 46 different components, 46 different aspects, and what then exactly it does with them. You heard the bleep beep? You can go on treating, nothing wrong in that. And the dose is full, so that position is now treated.
Why would you go on treating if it beeps?
Sorry?
Why would you go on treating if it beeps?
Because you have a particular problem there and you want to keep lying on it. I would do that more easily in COSMODIC.
When it beeps, it says that's the minimal amount to make a good change.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
keep it going, it can go further. It's kind of like you're shoring it up. Okay,
Battery,
now let's get more versions in.
Okay.
So no.
In that case,
Yeah, it is getting low.
I think I have some bad luck. Do you ever get any pains in there when he was treating you? No?
It happens sometimes, and I warn my clients for it, that as it is working and it's not getting a response, that it puts out one signal like jacks, and the person, whoop, and some people literally jump away, and then you lose contact while you're treating.
And you don't like them lying down, you prefer to have them sit.
There is the word that it is better treating than sitting, but there are occasions when people are not quite able to sit so easily. That
Better
happens.
lying down or sitting?
No.
Sitting.
Sitting is better than lying down.
Yeah, that is the word.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you just review like how you set your machine when you're doing that again? Say for
Do you want to do
SCENAR,
it,
say
do
for
you want to do it for the
COSMODIC.
video?
Working with the EX735, you switch it on, keep that pressed. It takes a moment to set itself. There it is. You look at the strength of the signal, the energy, the depth of the energy, and you change that by holding the menu button to A2, which is what I want. And the next one would be A3, through to A1, next to A2. That little sign there. A2 is for normal adults. Then I look at these here. That is the setting S1, which is a normal therapeutic setting. If you do, is it this one? No. I do that one if I want to take the vibration away. So now I go to the next step, I press mode, next step, vibro, switch off, menu, back. Now it doesn't vibrate.
Can you have both sound and vibration?
You can indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I want to change the S1. If you can go to short pressure S2, that is more beauty treatment, signal stays in the skin. And then if you do that again, you go to SO, which is to measure. And then if you keep it pressed, you go between COSMODIC and SCENAR like this, and then COSMODIC again, and SCENAR. In the treatment mode, once you've identified your spot, you go to the treatment mode, which is S1, and then the A comes up. It will choose itself automatically whether to go in SCENAR or COSMODIC, but you can override it by pressing COSMODIC, SCENAR, automatic. As you're working, you see the R, that little thing, twirl around. The more it twirls, the higher speed, the more interaction, the better. This is the energy that is automated, regulated in A2. It comes up, and the person, oh, I can feel that. and then after a little while it goes down a bit and down a bit. Once it has established a workable contact, it can reduce the energy, and it will do that. But the body is still reacting to it. And then as you're doing that, this D, the circle, will gradually fill up. It'll give the time as well, the length of it, but it will gradually fill up. And that goes in stages while it's working. Sometimes zooks and the whole thing is gone, done, and sometimes small step, small step, small step. And in the meantime, you can observe here the interaction, the level of interaction. The higher that is, the better it is. And the more you can be sure that you're doing a good treatment is high. When everything is very low, the body is not responding very much. And that may indicate that you have a bad prognosis. But nothing is a law in medicine. Yeah?
That's true.
Say that
Great.
again. About the bad diagnosis.
When the readings here,
Yes.
in that thing, you see, as it's working, I hate high signals. Yeah, you see the bars come up. It wants to treat me in COSMODIC, you see those bars come up?
Right.
Yeah, the higher that is, the better. So it starts high,
Right.
and now it stays quite low. But it started high, that's good enough.
working.
But it will change, it will change. There's a moment when that little thing that is circling around goes slower. It's now already made a change. When that goes slower, it'll make a change. And suddenly you see a pattern developing. It works in bursts like this,
Right.
different
And you got
things.
to keep that on there until the dose is all complete.
Till the dose is completed.
And then
Yeah.
that's
You don't have to. There's no harm in taking it off if that needs to, but you haven't done the minimal treatment. Yeah?
And so when you're treating in SCENAR, you need the S1 and the A showing up.
Or you choose to work in COSMODIC or SCENAR. Yesterday there was a gentleman here and he has a reoccurring cancer on his nose, visible. And we were going to treat and then suddenly he realized he had to go away. And we did 1/3 of the dose. And later he came back and showed me it had changed enormously.
Did you do that in COSMODIC or in
In
SCENAR?
COSMODIC.
In COSMODIC. Okay.
It's cancer would work COSMODIC.
We had we were at dinner with him, so he used the machine. We had it there. So
You had
we
the
had another
715. You did the 715.
Yeah. That is COSMODIC, definitely, because in SCENAR the body will show more that it's recognizing itself, and COSMODIC is more sensitive to bring out what is there. And the body doesn't often recognize a cancer. It doesn't see the cancer.
If you have
So
a
then-
cellulitis or something like that on the face, would you put the contacts right on it or around
I would.
the area?
It's silver.
Oh, okay.
Silver self-sterilizing.
Right.
You know how of colloidal silver?
Okay.
Yeah. Antibacterial.
And for herpes infections or anything like that?
I wouldn't worry about it, yeah.
Or like zosters, herpes zoster?
I'll put it on it, I have no
Oh,
problem.
okay.
Yeah. And clean. Then I would clean
Would you
it.
put that on an A1 then, in case they're more sensitive?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And if it is too painful, I would go to the reciprocal zone. Yeah.
The other
Either
side.
left, right, or the side, or
Okay.
work from there till it becomes possible to work just on that spot. Yeah. So we're going back to SCENAR and then go to 1. That's what we were using.
My battery was 100%.
Was it? How funny. How funny.
David thinks it has to do with SCENAR treatment on him.
It could be. So the first one is the highest. That's handy, and I don't have to make marks yet. It is not always that the same level comes up. Often the same level comes up. That's high. Ah.
Oh,
So that's a real indication. That's where the treatment is needed. But lower down, yeah, lower down came high as well. So we go
Did it
there.
lock in itself there?
Sorry?
Did it lock in high when you...
Yeah, it gave a high reading. It
Yeah,
said,
it gave a high one, but then it locked in at that, because you took it away or just
no, it keeps the readings.
keep the reading?
So you can look back later and say, oh, there's a high one. Where was that? And you made a
Go high
mark.
right down there though?
Yeah.
A couple bars?
It did, but then it went really high there, and I want to treat only one position.
And you do top.
Yeah, I could, that's the old way of working with the old SCENAR, drive it up. So I could get, oh, that's higher, I dose that. Then I go on, oh, that's even higher, and then I dose that. But you have to be very clear how high you were the first time.
Right.
Yeah, you can do that. That's like driving it up. But I don't think it's... for SCENAR you can do that. For COSMODIC I don't think it's necessary. So you keep a certain amount of pressure on as well as you're doing this.
Now you're treating SCENAR now because...
Because that's what I choose to do.
That was in the mode we were in.
Yeah,
That's in the mode we were in.
And you say it's okay to do it on the spine, directly on the spine? Or you want to go to either side of the spine, or on the spine is okay?
Sorry, this is a 3 pathways. The first one is on the spine.
Okay.
Yeah. The second one is halfway between the shoulder blade spine on that. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
3 column system.
3 pathways it's called. One talks about it as 3 pathways.
Okay.
If you say 3 column, people get confused.
Okay.
It's the lingo, you know.
Gotcha.
Nothing more beautiful than a professional language.
So in a,
Right.
can you use these on babies?
Yeah.
So because of
A1.
the distance there, how would you?
There are
doing
there are
2 centimeters?
additional smaller electrodes you can get. So it's a replica of those electrodes only on a smaller scale, and you plug that in here.
Oh, okay.
You can also buy electrodes that you put up your bum or up the vagina. Yeah, and that does treat the mucous membrane. It's good for the local area, but it will also be a very general treatment, like a general zone treatment, like in 3 pathways, shoulder, etc. So it's slightly more accentuated in the area, but it will treat the overall system because it's more inside the body. It is a different aspect of the nervous system.
Are there probes where you can use this to attach that to a probe? And
That's right, exactly. That's what I meant. I should have used the word
you
probe.
do that same thing, do this.
Yeah, you have the probe. You have the
Yeah,
probe. You put the
to
probe
put
on
the
the
whole
skin,
unit
and you
on.
get the readings here.
Right, and you hold the probe in your hand and you just put it,
No, you put the probe on the skin, and you hold this in your hand,
okay,
Off
Yeah.
the body.
off the body, and you read. Yeah.
okay.
Now, do the probes come with it, or is that extra?
That is extra.
That's extra.
I don't often use probes. I treated a little girl recently. She had recurring kidney infections. She was 4 years old. And it took 4 sessions. It was a smaller device. I did this 3 pathways every time. And every time that kidney area came up.
Did you see her twice that week, or once?
No, I saw her once. Saw her once. It worked fine. After the first time already, things were improving.
And with
Interstitial cystitis.
Cystitis?
I haven't treated that with this yet. I'm waiting to do
because I
it.
have someone that has it.
I'm waiting to do it. I know with the way I do acupuncture, it is a real problem to treat the person because things are sort of easy. If I try to approach it more, it flares up. And I can only sort of waddle along and keep it a little bit at bay, but not really treat it. So I'm dying to try to scan on it.
So your sessions are always an hour, or does the
I put aside an hour. I
determine it?
put in aside an hour. The scanner will determine it. Sometimes after 20 minutes I'm finished and I have a cup of tea.
What does the normal practitioner charge for an hour?
I charge £35.
Okay.
How much is it?
That's about $7.
But I don't charge for time, I charge for treatment. If it lasts 20 minutes, 20 minutes. My expertise, I say. If I need to go over time, I'll go over time.
So it kind of works itself out.
Sorry?
It kind of works itself out throughout the day.
Yeah.
Some you have shoulders.
Now, there are people who consistently respond very quickly, and then I book 3/4 of an hour, or half an hour even. So regularly I have some people to get and I book them 3/4 of an hour. Just, you know, I have overheads. I should charge more than 35. I will bring the fee up. 35 is acupuncture, and acupuncture I work in 2 rooms. And there are lots of overheads, and
Yep.
you know, I'm okay, but it's not.
How does
Still
your
gotta make it
booking
look
go if you know you're planned for an hour and you only use 20 minutes?
Charges for the session.
I
So it
charge for
doesn't
the
matter
session.
whether it's
Yeah.
half an hour or a full hour.
Well, I mean, but you could have your next patient.
Indeed, and then I know for next time that that person may be quicker, so I book for 3/4 of an hour, sometimes half an hour.
So that's just experience on how the
Yeah.
person's progressing.
Yeah.
And
I don't charge for time, I charge for expertise. If somebody comes, like with acupuncture, and I find moved, and I find that I shouldn't treat in that session,
Right.
I don't charge. They're surprised, oh, but your expertise is this or that. It's the way I do it. And it creates goodwill,
Right.
and it's fine,
Yeah.
and I have a happy practice.
Right.
And the doctor says, oh, how much can I charge? Forget it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
I wish somebody else would do the finances, and I just work.
Right.
Really.
Do you have a front desk?
No, I don't have a receptionist.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well, you don't really if it's just you, right?
a real one-man band.
Now, when it finished there,
It finished
You're going to
there.
be immortalized
He
and
went
famous.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yes,
hear
I'll
the
be
beep, but
on
it must
the
have
video.
beeped.
Yeah, it did.
No,
Sorry,
just on-
that was
Well, maybe on video too. Yeah.
So here now we go. Scanner mode. Next one.
Oh, so this is a 735.
It is the EX. There are two 735s.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When two are equal, I always go for the first one. Yeah, when two readings are equal. Ah, that's higher. You can see look at the.
So sometimes an X-ray pencil is good because on the skin, or actually, like you said, like a lip liner or something.
Yeah, I use an eyebrow pencil. That
Yeah.
works fine.
So we're getting...
Just higher. I would think that next time I may want to pay attention to that. It has brought up an area here, which for me is bladder related, perhaps prostrate. It brings up the area here, which in my opinion could be kidney related. So there is something on with the basic reservoir of energy, the strength, hormonal system, yeah. And if you don't mind me saying, getting older, one loses certain strengths. So that may need attention. So I would make a note of that. But that one is still that bit higher. So for now I go there. This is the first treatment. Follow advice. Don't override the advice of this.
So since it's higher there, you're going to dose it there.
Yeah. But I have the other one in mind. And if that doesn't come up ever, I might still at some point treat that. And afterwards finish off by doing an overall reading and use that as a final treatment.
Right.
I have a fast heart rate, and I'm like, all my blood tests come back normal and everything.
Right.
Would that work with me? It's like this.
It'll find something unless you think you're perfect. But if you think you're perfect, this is not going to think you're perfect.
We have a really good heart rate.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that when you said
And this
it opens up the three
response to the
pathways?
dynamic.
Well, that this becomes more effective. Yeah? That the body will respond more
like a
to
gate.
working.
Yeah.
It's like a reflex area for the back.
Right.
That's how Ravenka works. Yeah?
The tongue is, when you use your A1, 2, and 3, you want to do 3 for stronger stimulation so that it gets the mind involved, right?
Well, no. Oh no. It's no stronger stimulation. It would be more physical. In Chinese medicine, if you want to treat the body, you use thick needles. If you want to treat the mind, the finer the needle, the better. In homeopathy,
Right.
D6, but D200 is far more potent, but more on a deeper level.
Right.
How finer it is, how deeper it goes. That is the remarkable thing.
Right.
But the signal has not a direct influence on that, I would think.
Okay.
The signal, in first instance, one would say that it is good for someone to just feel the signal without it being uncomfortable. It should not be uncomfortable at any time. Yeah?
Okay.
So, and it's good to feel it because then your mind goes there. And when the mind goes, energy goes, things happen more easily.
Right.
But this is automated, so there is a point where one doesn't feel the signal anymore. So that's fine. A2 is for normal adults. A1 is for children or sensitive people who don't like the feeling, to make sure they don't feel it. It'll still work.
Right.
A3 is for people who sometimes have areas that have become insensitive. The nervous system is not functioning as it should. It's a bit dead.
Right.
Yeah? They never feel anything at all. And then I would use A3 to make sure the signal comes through.
That's physical.
Because that's physical.
Right.
Exactly.
And it may not
Yeah.
correspond to the thinking of inner and outer bladder lines if you're going to 3P.
If I work on the outer lines, the 4 and 5, I would more easily use COSMODIC for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
COSMODIC, and that would be A1.
Not necessarily, A2 is fine, because the device is such that it goes very quickly below level, you feel. It comes up, it puts out a certain amount of energy till it starts corresponding.
Right.
If the body is corresponding fine, it slowly goes down in energy. And I think that's great, because I think always the minimum amount of interference is best. Nature knows best.
Yeah.
You don't overwater, you don't overfeed, you just do the right thing.
Doing what you need.
Yeah.
How do you kind of
It's
get
going,
it in play?
look, it's going very slow at the moment, and it is still going along, and it's dosed like 93% or something.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see that.
And it's going very slow, and something is going to happen. Sometimes it keeps going, that's going a bit quicker. It's found a different mode. But now it's going slower and slower. It's now going to dose soon, I think. I mean, you think that, Yeah,
Keeps
spare
the
time.
time.
It gets sometimes when I have to write afterwards, I can't write anymore because you
No.
keep the pressure on.
Right. Now, we can't really say that's accommodation in the nervous system or anything like that. Or do you think of it that way?
I think of it as waking up the system. If you want to look at it in terms of nerves, then centers in the brain are formed. Literally centers in the brain are formed.
Right.
The Russians have studied in great detail what happens when the body has an injury, an illness, and how it recovers.
Right.
The adaptive response.
Right.
The Russians do not have alternative medicine. They have no complementary medicine. They have medicine, and part of that is adaptive medicine.
Right.
And it's doctors like Irina, like other Russian
They just
doctors
call it
who
adaptive.
do that, and they call it adaptive medicine.
Right.
And they have all the space, because there's no pressure,
Right.
to do any different. It's dosed.
Right.
Thank you.